Yo, so we checked out Big Man, right? This is the new film from Aneil Karia, who directed the joint. For whatever reason, for whatever reason, a writer is not listed anywhere, which is some bizarre shit. I'm I'm just making an assumption that Aneil and Michael wrote it, but I might be wrong here because it does not say anywhere. Anyway, the information we do have, right? It is produced by Tom Gardner, Sherry Myers, executive produced by Seth Wilson, Scott O'Donnell, Tim Nash, Sally Campbell, Akua Agumfra, right? With I don't know, that's it. Okay, Lil Silver took care of the music. They also wrote the songs with Stormzy. Cinematography is Stuart Bentley. Amanda James edits the piece. Right, Des Hamilton was behind casting. Production design with Alexandra Tomei. Amina Kara Calendar is costume design. Dominika Wuzik is production management. Our cast, right? So playing our, retired on a break rapper Tenzman is Michael Omari, aka Stormzy. We have got his girlfriend Kayla, played by Aisha Vassell. There is his manager, played by Neil Maskell. Right, we just hear him on the phone. Then we have got Klevis, played by Klevis Brahja, and Tyrell, played by Jaydon Eastman. There's Charlie, played by Jay Brown. Steve, played by Liam Bewley. The couple on the pier are played by Aram Araghagan and Ritu Banda. There's the arcade worker, played by Rebecca Beaumont. The chip shop worker, played by Abram Gad. We've got the school teacher, played by Bethan Story. Care home worker, played by Holly Gifford. And Chris Riley. Then we've got the refuge worker, played by Marcus Sharif. Tenzman's mates, right, are played by Baba Oyedi and Andrew Sensi. His producer, played by Lil Silver. His sound engineer, played by Jediah Rimmel. Right, so they're all the people we see. The gist of the tale, right? Tenzman, a world-weary musician, develops an unexpected bond with two bold kids, sparking a journey of purpose and possibility. Right, so there it is. Now, this film was put together in conjunction with Apple. So, right, we do have this bit, right? So it's a short film, shot entirely on the iPhone 16 Pro. And so Apple produced it in association with Some Such and Murky Films, right? Now, we do have a little bit from Aneil Karia, right? He says, I've never shot an entire piece of narrative filmmaking on an iPhone before, and it's been a really invigorating process. iPhone is such a smaller than the traditional cameras used for television, film, or music videos, and the lightness and flexibility that comes with that is boundless in a sense. I like trying to strive for an intimacy with characters, and sometimes a big camera is not particularly conducive for that. With iPhone, you now have this amazing camera in your pocket, says Stuart Bentley, cinematographer. If you're hungry and passionate about cinema, there's no reason you can't make an amazing film. You can use cinematic mode for shallow depth of field, and it automatically pulls focus to follow the action. It's got an incredible dynamic range and can handle low light, and shooting with Apple ProRes log gives you even more options in post. So yeah, that's just a little bit on this, right? I'll link to the other thing on the website, but yeah. Now, I do think, right, that you do get, I think the intimacy is something that really resonates through with this piece. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning, we see, man, everything's going down with Tenzman, right? He's trying to get this fridge installed. It looks like his girl is leaving him. So we have that. And then, right, that's when these two, right, Tyrell and Klevis, show up. So we have all of this, and it's just like, you know, in the road trip, right? You believe that these are two kids, that there's stuff going on, right? But it's like this Brighton trip, just watching those interactions, like talk to a bond that is being built, and all of that really plays well. Now, look, it's 20 minutes, right? It's not a big amount of time or anything like that. Though many, you know, shoot short films with this kind of, you know, time frame and can get a lot done with that. It would have been, I think, good to get a little bit more on Klevis and Tyrell. I think we get there's a thing that says, you know, Tenzman says in the car, right, when they're talking about music, and he's like, man, I bet your parents know about this song, like ask them about this song. The reaction tells us something, right? And then I think at the end, there's a sign on the wall. Now, it was tiny, right? I couldn't see what it says, but I got an idea of what this is. You know what I mean? And then when we see the other clips of the kids after the fact, right, I think you get what their situation is. But I think it could have been explored a little bit more, because it speaks to, you know what I mean, what they do at the beginning, right? The fun run and just all of them things, right? I think all of that speaks to them. So that would have been, like, I think an important thing. Also the break, right? The break from music, right? The Kayla leaving at the start. All things that could have been touched upon a little bit more to give you a bit more depth, insight, empathy with the characters and everything like that. But I do think this is a piece, it looks good, right? It is shot well, and it does, you know what I mean? I think it does create this interesting relationship with these two kids. I mean, one of the big things though that does kind of like, you know what I mean? I do look at this and I was just like, wait, hold on a second. Like, hold on a second. I don't know if any grown man is just gonna hang out with two kids like this, right? Take two kids on a trip. Like, I don't know if anyone's doing that because, yo, the amount of shit that you could get in for this kind of thing, right? And just, if these little kids who are clearly, right, clearly about trying to make a buck, if they said something inappropriate happened, you are now fucked, right? You're now fucked. So, and there's been so much on TV and films and, you know what I mean? Like, just in the news. So, it's not like no one has this, you know, I was going to say at the back of their mind, even at the front of their mind in any situation, right? You know what could go down. So, yeah, just the concept in itself, I was just like, yo. You know what I mean? Like a conversation with parents, guardians, whatever. It has to be made before any of this, right? Even if they get someone else to pretend to be those things, right? Some sort of an attempt to is, you know, what theoretically would have happened, right? No one's trying to catch a case. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was weird. That was the weirdest thing about this, right? Just trying to separate yourself from the reality of, hold on, could this actually happen? Right? Could this actually happen? I think if this was set in the 80s or something, in the 70s, definitely you wouldn't even question it. Wouldn't even question it. But right about now, yeah, it screams problematic on a major scale. Major scale, man. Like, Tenzman don't want that shit on him, you know? So yeah, there is that. There is that. But as I said, you know, production wise, acting wise, it works, right? And Michael does a very good job with Tenzman. Like, you know, obviously there's not a great deal of depth to the character. There's not a whole heap he has to actually do, but he does show the foundation of like some potential in acting here, right? So, you know, I think he could definitely use this to get bigger roles, you know? So, yeah, it's definitely worth it. And it's only 20 minutes. So, you know what I mean? You're not losing a whole load of time or anything like that. So, yeah, people, if you're interested, and even if you're a filmmaker and you're kind of like, could I shoot with an iPhone? Right? And give Big Man a look, and it will give you mad possibilities, right? So yeah, it's out. You can watch it on, I watched it on Prime. I think it's on Apple's YouTube. So it's all over the spot, right? But yeah, Big Man.